First problem says, let's use a system of equation to solve the following problem situation. What do they mean by a problem situation?
The situation given there about situation question given.
Remember when we talked about functional model and problem model? See, that's what I'm saying. They're going to use this type of information on this test, and they're not talking about, well, if he's buying gas. No, they're literally talking about if we were to draw the x and y axis, what coordinate would we be working in?
One.
We'd be working in quadrant 1. That's what they mean when they say problem situation. So just be careful with that and make sure that you understand that aspect of it. Okay, so it says unleaded gas and supreme gas sell for different price per liter. Suppose that 2 liters of unleaded gas and 3 liters of supreme gas cost $2.52. 5 liters of unleaded and 4 liters of supreme cost $4.48. Well, it asks us to use the variable x and y. So we're going to use x and y, and it says, and I don't know whether it's on your paper, but I want x to be unleaded, and I want y to be supreme. Now, you may not know what I mean, but if you go to the gas station and then you see regular unleaded and super unleaded. Well, regular unleaded is what all the cars are pretty much. Super unleaded is for like older cars because it takes more octane for those cars to go. Regular unleaded is cheaper. That's what most people get. Especially if you got a new model car, you don't want to put the high octane in it. But anyway, that's whatever. So it asks us to find 2 equations to model the total gas. So let's take a look at the first sentence. Suppose that 2 liters of unleaded. All right, good job. 2x
Plus 3y,
plus 3y
equals $4.48.
equals how much?
$4. Oh no, 2.52. I read the wrong thing. It's $2.
$2.52.
Yeah, I read the
There you go.
wrong number.
That's okay. Ain't nobody mad at you. 252. What type of equation is that?
It's standard form.
It's standard form. All right, let's take a look at the next one. I'm listening.
It's 5x plus 4y equals $4.48.
So if it asks us just to write an equation, and that's what A says, find 2 equations for the total cost of gas. What do? We answer the question. And that's one of the things that you gotta just be careful on, that you answer the question. Don't make no monster out of these problems. Just answer what they ask you. Because you'll be looking at this saying, oh my God, what am I gonna do? But you just answered the question. Okay, it makes sense? And now if we were to say, well, let's solve for something, or let's solve the system, then we have to determine whether we're going to use substitution, elimination, or whatever. But right now, they just ask us to solve the problem. All right, let's go on. So B says, what is the price per gallon for each one? Now we have to do what? We have to solve it. Okay? So let's take a look. We have 2x plus 3y is equal to 252. And it has 5x plus 4y is equal to $4.48. And I just hate the fact that we don't have these calculators to deal with this. But we need to now try to figure out how to solve the system. Now we can do so by taking one of these systems and solving for, we can solve for x or we can solve for y. It really, because we got to find the x and y for each one, right? Okay. So let's take a look at Let's solve for y. Right here, let's solve for y. So we will bring this back down. 2x plus 3y is equal to $2.52. And what we're gonna do now? Subtract 2x. All right, 2x is canceled. We have 3y is equal to a negative 2x plus 252. Okay, now what do we do?
And then you divide the 3 and divide by each.
Divide 3 by each particular term. So we will have, if we divide by 3, we will have y is equal to a negative 2 over 3x plus how much? Somebody want to calculate it? Where's your phone? I got a couple calculators. I got one probably for each table. How much? 84 cents? All right, we got to trust our math. Look back there, and I got 2 or 3 calculators in there. Try to get the 84 and the 83 and the big ones, and just kind of put one of these tables so they at least have something for us. All right, so now we in y equals mode. Okay, so we got this first equation. We got it in y equal. Now we need to take the second one and do the same identical thing. Oh, we really don't have to do that. We can solve this next equation by substituting for y. Let's do it that way. Okay? So we don't really have to. I really think it's a good deal. If we did, and we can graph them, but since we don't have the calculators, we can. So let's take a look at 5x. That's 5x plus 4 times, and what is y? Negative 2 over 3x plus 0.84. So all of that's y. And how much is that? $4.48. Okay? So now we need to solve this equation, and we're going to solve it fast. Okay. What's the first step? All right, we got to do the parentheses first. So we have 5x plus, all right, now, remember this is going to be 4 over 1. So we do 4 times negative 2, which gives us negative 8 divided by 3x. We'll go back and simplify it later. Plus, what's 4 times 84? 0.84. How much? 3.36 is equal to 448. Now what do we do? Subtract. All right, so let's subtract 3.36. All right, so that'll give me 5x plus negative 8 over 3x is equal to, what do we get? Because this is zeroed out. All right, 1.12. Now what do we do with this stuff? All right, when we add fractions, it's a totally different process, isn't it? Because we got to find what? Common denominators. There you go. Common denominator. All right? See how good you are when you stay cool? That's what I'm telling you. You ain't got no worry. Stop worrying. Yes. Stop worrying. All right, so we got 15 over 3, and that's minus 8 over 3, and all of that's x, is equal to 1.12. All right, well, let's subtract. Well, we get 7 over 3. 7/3 is equal to 1.12. Let's go ahead and turn that into a decimal. This is 2.3. All right. So 2.3x is equal to 1.12. What do we do from there? Let's move this up here. So what do we do here?
We divide 2.3.
All right, we divide by 2.3. There you go. And x is going to equal what? How much? 48 cents a gallon. Outstanding. That was a pretty tough problem to work. 48 cents per gallon. That's how much, per liter. That's how much, and what did we solve for X? So what was X again? Unleaded. So unleaded, now we talking about liters, now trust me. Back in 1960 when I was driving, gas was like 25 cents a gallon. Don't work like that no more. All right, so 48 cents. What do we do to find how much is supreme? We
You
go
use
with
you substitute the x.
back into either one of the formulas? All right, let's go back and substitute. Let me find a formula. I may have to put another page up. So we got 40, yeah, let me put another page up. So we got 48. So let's go back and we can substitute this into any one of the equations. Any one of them. Any one. All right.
We can repeat it.